Oh, they just had a meal. This is so intense. I can't. They had a meal that was delicious. Hannah offered her husband an apple, but he refused. Okay, he knows. He knows she poisoned the apple. She cut the apple into two, so both ate half of it. Interesting. Okay. As soon as he ate it, he died. She must have put poison on one of the sides, or the wine was the antidote. How did she survive? I think the wine was the antidote, or she only put poison on one of the sides. Now, and then she took the risk. Just one of those two. I don't know, what do you think? Let's see what the answer is. The poison was on one edge of the knife. When she cut the apple, only half of it was poisoned. That's insane. Okay, I did not know that. I did not know the knife was the apple, only half of it was poisoned. That's insane. Okay, I did not know that. I did not know the knife was poisoned. That's evil. An old man lived alone in the suburbs. Oh, this has gotta go sad real quick. My man, this is my grandpa, okay? It was Friday when the mailman was passing by. The mailman passed by and, he just looked through the window and, oh boy, did he see something. He looked into the window and saw him in a pool of blood. No, the old man, did he trip? Was he murdered? The policeman found Tuesday's newspaper, 2 bottles of warm milk and 1 bottle of cold milk. Interesting. Warm milk, cold. The killer was arrested the next day. Who was it? So they found Tuesday's newspaper. The mailman was passing by on Friday, which means that the mailman missed a few days. It was probably the mailman. It has to be the mailman. He skipped a few days of newspapers, That should get you arrested. Answer the mailman. Boom! He knew that the old man wouldn't need a newspaper on Wednesday or Thursday. Mailman, you're so evil! You tried playing it off. What did he ever do to you? Nothing! Mr. Smith's wife was missing. The detective came to investigate the case. Right, we see warm pancakes, warm everything. Mr. Smith, when I saw her last time, she was having breakfast. As you can see right over there. But the breakfast is still warm. What do you mean? I got home at 5 p.m. The breakfast was still on the table, but she was gone. The breakfast is still warm. He is lying. He has to be lying. The detective arrested Mr. Smith. Why? Because the coffee is still warm. The coffee is still warm. The pancakes are still warm. He has to be lying. He either made the breakfast like just now, or it's not even breakfast, it's lunch, and he just saw her. If she made the food, then he must have been there because it's warm. That means that it was 30 minutes ago. How long does food stay warm, 30 minutes max. It's already gotta be really cold. It's not gonna be steaming hot. That's why he kidnapped his wife. Answer. The breakfast was still hot. Oh yes. Mr. Smith set up the scene before calling the police. I told you, he either set it up or he just kidnapped her. Mr. James was found dead in his room. Oh no, he's dead. He dead. It had no window and the door was locked. How was he killed? The only 4 people who had the key were questioned. All right, so one of the 4 people went in, murdered him, came out, locked it. Sophia, the maid. I came to wake up Mr. James. Okay, when I saw him dead, I screamed. Okay, so she was the one who found him. John the butler. Okay, when I heard the scream, I ran to the room. Okay, so he was second. Turned on the light and saw Mr. James with a knife in his neck. Wait, what? You kidding me? Sarah, the governess. I rushed up along John. Okay, so when she heard the scream. When he turned on the light, the room was all bloody. Okay, so far still seems legit. Jack the cook. I was prepping breakfast and didn't see anything. But it must have been his knife. Who did it? I think it was Jack the chef. It was his knife that was sticking out. It seems that, or Sophia the maid? No, I think it's Jack, but I'm really not so sure about this one. I don't want to accuse a man like that, But maybe someone took Jack's knife and murdered him. Or there wasn't a knife in the first place and it was John accusing Jack of being the murderer. Who did it and why? It was Sophia! If the room was dark, she couldn't see Mr. James dead. Oh, because there was no window! Unless she